Hey everyone, Carlo here. Welcome to the vlog. I was asked on Instagram a couple of days ago what were my 3 worst investments that I've ever made na nalugi ako at nawalan ako ng pera. So in today's episode, I'm going to share with you just that, the 3 worst investments I've ever made or worst performing investments that I've made so far. Excited? Ako hindi. But let's go. Before I get started, let me just remind you that we have a bunch of giveaways ongoing, which includes a laptop from MSI worth 50,000 pesos or $1,000. We also have a bunch of sneaker gift certificates from sneaker reseller shops, such as our favorite Soul Republic. They have a newly open branch over at BGC. Make sure to check them out. So if you guys haven't joined the raffles yet, please make sure that you do so. The links to all the mechanics can be found down below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and comment down below what you think of my worst investments that I am about to share. Okay, so the first worst investment that I've ever made is something related to cryptocurrency. So there was a time that ICOs were a big thing. So that was like your initial coin offerings. So it's kind of like IPO of stocks, but this time it's companies raising funds through cryptocurrency. And there was one company that I really bought into. I felt that the vision was amazing. I was able to meet the founders, and it was just something that I felt was such a great investment. And I did my math, I did my homework, I researched the company. But man, that one fell flat. As in, that one was just a total disaster. So I signed up for the ICO. I think that was for Salarium. It was a company that was supposed to do like payments. Man, I even forgot now what they were about because I erased the failure from my memory completely. But yeah, I bought into the ICO. I put in, I think, over 100,000 pesos. And at that time, when I put in that money, that's a big amount for me. And I really felt that it would be such a big thing. But unfortunately, it just crashed, never materialized. There was massive lack of communication with the founders throughout the process. And man, that was just a total waste of time, effort, and money. So nalugi ako doon. Learned the lesson though, made sure to double up on research and reference checks. So that one, for me, lugi tayo doon. Now the second worst performing investment that I made was something that I did. It was like a one-time investment that I did with BPI PhilAm. So BPI PhilAm, and it has nothing to do with the capabilities of BPI and PhilAm. This was me just buying at a really high point in the stock market. I think the PSE index was nearing 8,000 pesos back then. I think this was like 3 to 4 years ago. So I put in I think it was like 200,000 pesos. Now one time buying into, I think it was like some sort of VUL mechanism, no? Na parang there's a small insurance component. Now for that particular product, the total amount spent that I had was 200,000 pesos. And when the PSE crashed, because of COVID, when it went all the way down to around 4,000 pesos or 4 to 5,000, the 200,000 money that I had literally went down to 100,000. So it's as if I lost 100,000 pesos. And the normal, I think, knee-jerk reaction of a lot of people is to try to recover the money and just cut your losses. But I knew that the market would bounce back. I knew that the market would get back up on its knees and eventually, start to perform better. So I just held on to the money. The good news is I checked today because the market has been doing really well. So I think the PSE is at around 7,000, 7,200. I am at, I think, around 173,000 current value. So it's still nowhere 200,000. The money has been sitting there for almost 5 years, but at least I haven't, at least it's on its way to recovery. Maybe in 2 to 3 years, it will top 200,000, and then we get to realize the benefits of that particular investment. But yeah, it's one of my worst performing investments to date. I bought really high into the market. I really felt that it would still go up. I ignored what a lot of people said na parang na you might want to wait for it to go down before you buy. But yeah, knowing me, parang, tara, let's go, push. yan, tuloy. Push off a cliff. Now, the third investment I will mention is I'll no longer mention the brand kasi I know a lot of people are big fans of this particular brand. It's a multi-level marketing brand. Ito yung mga types na, you know, one of your friends approaches you, hey, you wanna meet? We haven't met for such a long time. So parang ikaw naman, you're thinking, oh, okay, parang sige, tara, kwentuhan tayo. Tagal na tayo di nagkikita. And then it turns out you were invited to like a coffee shop wherein somebody was going to present like a business opportunity session. Suffice to say that person is no longer a friend. but alam mo yun, I'm a sucker kasi sometimes for situations like that na parang you get pressured into investing because like your friend is there and you know the environment is just made for you to really just say yes. So I ended up saying yes. I think I shelled out like a little over 15,000 pesos. Can't remember na the exact amount, but I really had no heart for the business. I had no intent of getting into the business. So I literally just, you know, shelled out the money, never saw a peso back, then didn't even enjoy the products that I ended up buying. So that one was really a waste of money. So the lesson learned there is when long-lost friends message you, siguro check nyo muna if they are, check their profile, if they're into something, like they're selling something. Pag the answer is yes, then at least you know na you might be getting into a meeting like that, or you might want to clarify with that person. Diba? So yeah, another situation where money just poof went out the door and never came back. You know, I mentioned just 3, but as I'm doing this video, I'm recalling more and more stupid decisions that I've made that I'll just share with you with the hopes of you guys not repeating the same mistakes I did. So the fourth one was a time-sharing thing. Oh my God, ano ba yan? Nahuli ako ng libreng dinner. Long story short, somebody called my number, or I think, I don't know how, but I was invited to have like a free dinner at some sort of hotel. And to get the free dinner, you have to listen through like an hour of like somebody selling you like a time-sharing agreement. May vouchers pa kayo and stuff like that. So the voucher, I think, was a little over 10,000 pesos, and you would get like discounts, so you'd get free dinners, or you'd get free stays at a particular hotel or one of their branches in some different area of the country. To make a long story short, I had the free dinner, which was even crappy because it wasn't like the best dinner I've ever had. Plus the fact that the food was kind of cold and the assortment wasn't even, the spread wasn't even nice. So yeah, bad dinner. Spent a little over 10,000 pesos. Was never able to fully maximize the vouchers because I never really needed it. And again, it was the environment that would pressure you to buy. And knowing myself now, yung pinaka lesson ko dun is I'd never now want to put myself in a situation where I would be pressured to say yes to something or buy something, especially if I don't feel strongly. Initially, sa simula pa lang na gusto ko siya. So that's something that you guys might want to include in your decision-making or planning process when it comes to stuff like this. So yeah, that was a total waste of money. Now again, please do take note that some people actually take full advantage of agreements like those. They empty out the vouchers, and if you're like that and you really want to do that and that's something that you find a lot of pleasure and happiness in, then go ahead, knock yourself out. But for me, it was really just a big waste. And the last thing that I want to share with you guys is not really an investment, but it is like my biggest stupid expense. And I am sharing this with the hopes of warning you because I'm still doing it, and it is such a bad example. It is such a stupid thing that I do, but for some reason I enjoy it. It's something that I look forward to, so might as well. But wag niyo akong gagayahin. This is like a massive disclaimer na do not copy Carlo. So I'm hooked into this like app which is called One Punch Man. So One Punch Man is one of my favorite animes. Saitama, Genos, all the guys. No? So I've watched the seasons. I read the manga, and I'm playing their game right now on the app on my phone, which is called One Punch Man something. In a nutshell, it's like a gacha game. It's a gacha because you have to keep spending to get, like, you know, to have a random chance at getting a powerful character. And the problem is, every time you get a character, you have to spend money again, all over again, to strengthen that character. And then just a month later, another character comes out. And then a month later, another character comes out. And then it's just a vicious cycle of the developers or the game sucking out your bank account for you to be able to complete or to create more characters. That's kind of pointless, right? But yeah, so the more I talk about it, the more I feel bad. but yeah, and the problem is I'm still playing it. Totoo, so huwag nyo na simulan, parang awa nyo na. Or if ever you will get into games like this, make sure that you will stick to a budget if you plan on spending, and if you want to enjoy the game without spending, I think that might be like the best thing to do. But yeah, those are like the 5 worst performing investments that I've made so far. We have the Salarium ICO, we have my investment wherein I bought it at such a high price and now it's just recovering. We have, of course, the forced MLM. We have the forced time sharing agreement. And lastly, we have this stupid gacha game that just has me hooked. How about you guys? What are your worst investments? Let me know in the comment section down below. We're doing this not just to feel bad about ourselves, but to share with one another, because diba nga one of the best teachers is not really your experience. Kasi why do you have to fail? Diba? You can learn already from other people's failures. And I've failed so many times in my life. And this is just an opportunity for me to share with you. And hopefully, will give you some sort of like wisdom. Diba? Diba? Hindsight is 2020. So learn from my hindsight. So if ever you will get into any of these like levers or marketing or investments or stuff, note that somebody else went into it but was ill-prepared and it didn't pan out well. Might be good for you guys, it might work for you, but obviously didn't work for me. Anyway, that's actually it for now. I hope you guys learned something from me. I hope you learned something today and it makes you a little bit wiser as the days come by and you have more investments knocking at your door. With that said, this is Carlo signing out. I hope you guys are having a great week. Peace. God bless. What's up? Boom.